Hello everyone, Voodoo here. This is not a drill. Havoc's gotten buffed. I mean, it's not like a crazy buff, it's not super complicated, so not a huge video, but we're gonna talk about it, go over it, and all that jazz. So like, comment, subscribe, let's get into it. And here we are, and honestly, buffs are nice. 4% buff to all ability damage. That's it. Boom, that's the video over. No, we're gonna talk about it a little bit, not for too long. They also did nerf Unholy a bit, which is kind of nice. They then buffed it in single target, but whatever. So 4% is nice. This buffs everything: Immolation, Aura, Eye Beam, Cowl Strike, Death Sweep, AoE, and single target. We did need it. Havoc was a bottom 5 spec in raid at this point. You can rank 1 parse and do decently well, but it's a lot of RNG with the spec. This puts us in like middle of the pack, which is nice. We'll go over sims and stuff as well. And then they also did fix something where Reaver's Mark can only be parried. This was a new bug as far as we know. That came in, I believe, at the start of this patch of 11.1.5, where Reaver's Mark could just get parried, the application of it. Cowl Strike could get parried, and Reaver's Mark could apply, but Reaver's Mark itself could also just get parried, which was kind of dumb. So I'm glad they're fixing that. But yeah, I mean, like 4%. 4% is a nice buff. Let's take a look at where we are. So here's the parry buff, parry bug. This is from Neff, Reaver's Mark 1 on Bandit parry. That's not good. So if you notice that sometimes your Throw Glaive and your Reaver's Mark wouldn't apply, this is why. Some people were saying the bug was still around for the old bug. Not true. It just would get parried from time to time. I think it happened to me on Muggsy Prog. But you know, parry exists now. I think parry's stupid. A few days ago, they went through and made it so that like War Breaker and a few other abilities for different specs can't get parried. Essence Break still can be. If you parry Essence Break, you don't get the debuff applied, which is dumb. But you know, we'll take what we can get, I guess, as long like Reaver's Mark being parryable was stupid. But looking at overall statistics, Havoc, not great right now, but we're pretty even with a lot of specs here. The 4% buff does put us up to like above average, middle of the pack. I would expect us to be kind of in like this area here. It does also make like our funnel and our cleave better, which means that hopefully we're gonna be better on like the later bosses like Chrome King with a lot of cleave. 95th percentile, Havoc's pretty solid on this fight. Obviously, we look down at like 90th percentile, we start to drop off. Havoc is a hard spec this tier, but you know, we get like a 4% buff to this. Should be up in this little area up here, which is nice. That's like a pretty good area to be in. Obviously, like other bosses we're not as good at, but overall, I think this is a pretty nice buff up for raid. For Mythic Plus, we're not as bad as people think we are. Shad's doing pretty well. I actually don't even have Radar IO open, but Shad's been doing pretty well at Havoc. 3603. Obviously, that's like not like the highest score ever, right? I believe highest. I don't know where it would be, right? Like, let's just check this guy, right? He is 3709, 809. Like, that's not too far off where Shad is. Shad's at 36. But Havoc is pretty good. We do bring a lot of niche. Problem right now, of course, is that Vengeances does cannibalize that all. I don't think Havoc's gonna be meta or anything like that, but you're gonna have a nice 4% buff to your AoE and your funnel and all that stuff. So you're doing pretty good in that case. So like overall, like not a ton of talk on this video because it's a 4% buff, right? But it's just kind of nice. It'll put Havoc from like bottom to above average, slightly to middle of the pack, and just make it a little bit more viable and exciting to bring to things. Might not make pugging super easy because I don't think we're going to really change the meta. Like Unholy's going to do a little bit less, but it's still going to be very, very strong. They didn't really touch Balance Druid or anything else in that top comp. They didn't nerf Vengeance at all, so I wouldn't expect the meta to change too much for Mythic Plus, but still pretty good. Finally, we'll look at sims. This is the old sim, 2.82, pretty standard stuff, and then the new sim, 2.966. So we're almost at 3, which is pretty good. Once we bring in, obviously, the corruptions and stuff like that, we'll be up at 3, so like everyone else, so pretty much of a wash there. But a nice overall little buff to our, just, you know, deck. So, yeah. I mean, happy stuff. Just a little news update. No new crazy this video. I don't even know if we'll hit like 6 minutes, but if we do, that'd be pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy we got buffed. I'm happy they fixed that bug. We're still not like amazing. Morgan Day lied to us when he said Havoc's gonna be pretty good this tier. That was just a flat out a lie. But here we are. I do hope that Essence Break gets put on the unparryable category because it's kind of stupid you can parry that ability. But overall, you know, they fixed the bug. They buffed us. Happy camper over here. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Boom, we're buffed, nothing crazy, but should just be a little bit nicer compared to a lot of other things. And realistically, most specs didn't really get too much buff here as well, which is nice. Ret got like a 5% actually, which is pretty crazy. Everything else was like whatever. So yeah, there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys next time on Monday with a new video. And yeah, so peace. A big thank you to everyone watching my videos, but especially to my channel members. Thank you Alexander Trifunovic, Rukaza, Fear Redefined, Loose Change, Jorge Polanco, Matthew Barr, Zuligan, Chocobo Merc, Gabriel Correa, Matchman 133, and Falafadar Dark Terror. Thank you so much to everybody. If you want to join and support me in making videos, consider following the link below. I will be adding more perks to this over the summer as I get more time, including a log review, which isn't available right now. But again, I do appreciate everybody just supporting me and watching the videos. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Peace.